I'm Elizabeth at A Literary Princess, and today I am doing the book cover book tag. This tag was created by Lisa in Bookland. I wasn't tagged in it, but I really like talking about book covers, so I decided to just do it. So there are 9 prompts, and technically one prompt has 3 sub-prompts, but I am only doing one of them, so just 9 prompts for today. Let's jump right in. The first prompt is books with paintings on the cover, and she says you can also interpret this as photos. This is the one with the sub-prompts, which are a painting that was not commissioned for the book, but that fits it perfectly, a painting that doesn't fit the book at all, but it's still lovely, and books that the painting was specifically commissioned for and it fits perfectly. So the ones that I am talking about today are ones that were specifically commissioned for these books, and they are all by the same author and they are all by the same illustrator. If you've watched any of my other videos, you might know who I'm about to talk about. Gregory Maguire's book covers are my favorite ever. The illustrator is Douglas Smith for all 3 of these. I think he does all of Maguire's books, but I'm not sure. I have not checked on A Wild Winter Swan or any of the ones that I don't own, but these 3 I did look. It says right on the back, Douglas Smith. He's frigging fantastic. First of all, his drawing style, I am obsessed with. Absolutely obsessed with. I don't even know how to describe this because I'm not an art person, but I love it. But the other thing that I love about these is that they flip open and then have like a full another illustration in there. So this is Mirror Mirror, which is a Snow White retelling. So we've got, you know, the dwarves in the countryside, and Bianca, I think is her name. Yes, Bianca here in the mirror with the apple, and then you flip open and it is Caesar and Lucrezia Borgia. Lucrezia plays the role of the evil stepmother, and her brother is also just there being a dick, if I remember correctly. And I mean, God, look at it. Look at it. She's got the knife in the other part of the apple. I'm obsessed. And then the skull up here. Isn't it fantastic? Ugh. And then, because we're not done, we've got Confessions of an Ugly Stepsister, which is a Cinderella retelling, obviously. So we've got the carriage with the little mice footmen and stuff, and you can see Clara is her name, who's the Cinderella character, and the prince, and then it opens up. So this painting of Clara back here is very important. And then you can see the shoes at the bottom kicked off. There's another frigging skull. It's so good. It's so good. And then last one is Wicked, which is probably his most famous one. It's a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, focused on the Wicked Witch of the West, named Elphaba. So this one doesn't have like the quite illustrated cover as much. It's got like these vines that I love. I don't know if this is what the original hardcover also looks like, but then it opens. It does open. Look at it, with the monkey and the wolf and the cat and the tornado and the house. It's so good. I'm obsessed, obviously. Douglas Smith is just such a fantastic illustrator. I love everything he does. So yeah, those are my favorite books with paintings on the cover. Do I need to say any more? Prompt number 2 is TV or film tie-in covers. It says if you hate all of them, pick your least favorite. I'm not big on film and TV tie-in covers. Usually I avoid them, but I do have 2 that I'm not only just okay with, but I actually actively like. So the first one is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, 2012 focus feature film of Anna Karenina, starring Keira Knightley and apparently Jude Law. Who did Jude Law play in this? He wasn't... wasn't Vronsky. Was he Count Vronsky? I will look that up later. Anyway, no. I was quite right. He is not Count Vronsky. Jude Law plays Karenin. Okay, that makes way more sense. Anyway, I am in love with Keira Knightley. I have talked about this before on here, and I just really like the setup of this cover. I love her dress. I do really like the way that it's been framed as like a stage. It was very interesting in the movie. I just like with either of them on either side, it just looks really good. And the snow and the train, it just looks really good. And also Keira Knightley. So this is actually my mom's, and I probably need to give it back to her and buy a non-movie tie-in cover, but I do really like this. And the second one is Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. So this is obviously from the first season, Sean Bean playing Ned Stark and sitting on the Iron Throne. And listen, Sean Bean was a great Ned Stark. And I really like that it has the throne on the cover, whereas I think the original cover has just a sword, and I think it's way better to have the Iron Throne on here, personally. And I think that Sean Bean just did a really good job, so I'm completely okay with him being there. Yeah. Prompt number 3 is the nicest spine. So I've got 3 for this because I have one that is like definitely the nicest spine, most definitely, of anything I have. But then I have others that I really like, even though they are not necessarily nicer than this first one. So this first one is the Folio Society edition of Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. And I mean, honestly, the whole thing, it comes in a box. Look at that. It's friggin' gorgeous cover. But look at that spine. Look at it. I mean, yeah, it's the nicest one on my shelf. Hands frigging down. My old roommate actually got this for me for my birthday, which was very sweet of her. But then I also do have other spines that I really like. And the first one, I just have one book to show you an example of because it's like a whole collection. Here's a hint, you can see them behind me. It's the Penguin Classic spines. I obviously collect them. I like them quite a lot. This is the Woodlander specifically. I grabbed it because it doesn't really have many dents on the spine like a lot of the other ones do, because I mostly buy them used. But you know. But yeah, I just love the black with the white band and the little penguin and the white title and the red author name. I'm really mad about the new ones that don't have the author name in red. Don't talk to me about it. But yeah, I love Penguin Classic spines. And the next one is actually my favorite spine ever for some reason. And this is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. I adore this book, one of my favorite books ever, but I love this spine. I don't know why. I just really like it. It looks really good, okay? I don't know. Look at how good it looks there. Like, come on, it's a great one. Prompt number 4 is nonfiction covers. So again, I have most of my nonfiction on campus, but I do have 2 here, and then I have one that I'll be putting in an image of that is on campus, and I wasn't lugging it home. But I really like a lot of different things in nonfiction. I like paintings, I like photographs, I like kind of more abstract type things. This first one is Born Yesterday, Inexperience and the Early Realist Novel by Stephanie Inslee Hirschenau. And I just really like the painting and the flower there. It looks nice, you know? It looks really nice. And also the back looks nice, more flowers. It's just nice. Then this other one that I have physically is Jane Austen Early and Late by Freya Johnston. And so this is, I guess, a picture of Bath. does it say? Cover art is actually by Bernardo Bellotto. It's the ruins of old it's in Dresden. I can't pronounce what it actually is. It's from 1765. It is oil on canvas. We have a guest. Hi. Hi. Can I help you? Anyway, I just really like how it's like kind of faded out in the background and this beautiful blue color, and then the focus is really just Jane Austen. I have no idea what these things in Dresden have to do with Jane Austen, but it looks really nice. And the one that I don't have physically with me right now is Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley. I really like it. I like the design on the cover. I like the little silhouette of Jane. It's nice. I like the colors. I don't know. Prompt number 5 is least favorite covers. I've talked about both of these on here before, but I'm gonna take any excuse to rant about them because I hate them. First up, this cover of Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. Great book, fantastic book. Love it. Hate this cover. Makes it look really trashy. Also, it's like the unsurpassed masterpiece of romantic suspense. This book is not romantic. Everybody needs to stop calling this a romance. It is not. It is gothic. Suspense, yes. Romantic, no. They barely know each other. But I hate this, okay? I hate this. The red, whatever that is supposed to be, like all folded. No, it makes it look like a romance, and it's not. It's not. I hate it so much. Other one I have also talked about. This is Wives and Daughters by Elizabeth Gaskell. And first of all, I hate mass market paperbacks. Why is this book a mass market paperback? It's unwieldy to read. But second of all, I just really hate this cover because it makes it look like a Nora Roberts or a Danielle Steele book. It's like they're trying to appeal to that category of people, which there's nothing wrong with being that category of people. But that's not what this is. And then there's this stupid quote from The Guardian. Wives and Daughters has plot, intrigue, and romance. It has plot? You don't say. It's a novel. No shit, Sherlock. Just really hate it. Number 6 is covers that you like in a weird way. I have picked 2 for this, and they're weird in different ways, and I like them in very different ways. The first is The Idiot by Elif Batuman. Like, it's a rock. But I really like this cover. I love the color. First of all, this pink is beautiful, but also I like that it's a gray rock. I don't know. I like it. It just looks nice. And then next is a very different cover, and I like it in a very different way. This is The Little Friend by Donna Tartt, and this cover is creepy as hell. Like, I think it's a doll, and it's like just the eyes. It's so creepy, but I don't know. I really like it. When I first saw it, I was like, this is so scary. But it's really grown on me. Like, it's still kind of unsettling, but it just works. I don't know. I like it. And I like the black with, I don't know. I don't know. It's creepy, but it works. Funny thing, both of these books, haven't finished either of them. Prompt number 7 is modern or abstract cover, which you can take to mean anything you like. So I've got 2 for this as well, and they're quite different from each other. This first one, I was like, is this really abstract? But I decided that it is. This is A Struggle for Fame by Charlotte Rydell. This is a Victorian era book that was recently reprinted. And this is the cover they've reprinted it with, which is like, you know, your very stereotypical painting of a woman from the Victorian period. But then they've put the pink circle right over her face. And I really like it. And also it has a pink spine and a pink back. And it's it's giving you your expectation, but like completely subverting it at the same time and making it more modern. And I don't know, I really like it. It looks good. Right, and so the next one is, I think, probably a more traditional interpretation of an abstract cover. This is The Female Persuasion by Meg Woltzer. And I could have gone with either this one or the Interestings for this. They both have just like the lines in various directions. I don't know, it just looks really nice. Like the shapes and the lines and the different colors, it looks good. I went with The Female Persuasion over the Interestings because on the Interestings, the title is significantly smaller than Meg Woltzer's name, which I don't really like. Whereas, I mean, maybe her name is slightly larger here, but like they're pretty much the same size, and I think that works better. But yeah, I just like the shapes and the colors. Prompt number 8 is a cover that you only understand once you've read the book, and I struggled with this because I was like, not real, like I don't really have any. Like either they're pretty straightforward or like they don't really mean anything and they just kind of look pretty, you know? So I finally decided on this one, mainly because when it came out and the cover was first released back in 2010, maybe 2009. It was the early 2000s. There was a lot of discussion about what does this cover mean. And this is Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer. It's the last book in the Twilight series. And so as you can see, we've got the White Queen in the front and the Red Pawn in the back. And a lot of people were like, what could this mean? There were all kinds of different interpretations. And like people got it before they read it, even like they did guess correctly, which I think you kind of can in a way. But there were a few different interpretations. But so the spoilers for Breaking Dawn, if you care. So the idea is Bella has turned into a vampire, and this is her vampiric self coming forward as the queen, the most powerful piece on the board, and her weak human self going into the background. The red is obviously because human blood, white vampire, no blood, pale skin. So I mean, people did get that, but they also weren't like, they didn't really know why it was set up like this. And it's set up like this because, like chess, the final confrontation is more about strategy and logic than it is about an actual fight. Or at least according to Stephanie Meyer, this was how she described it. So yeah, this is the only one I could really think of. But you know what? I love these covers. They're all really good. And the only one that apparently has no meaning is the New Moon cover. They just were like, here's a flower with blood, and Stephanie Meyer was like, okay, I guess. But like the apple and on Twilight and the ripped ribbon on Eclipse and the pomegranate on Midnight Sun, like all have meaning, as does this. And then there's the New Moon flower. And number 9 is cover buys. We have a guest again. Hi. Cover buys. I'm not a huge cover buyer. Like I might see a cover and be like, ooh, pretty. But then I will look at the summary and read the summary and make sure it's something I actually like. I'm never like, just, this is a pretty cover, I'm buying it. I think I did that more as a teenager, but I've gotten rid of the books that I've done that with since. So these two books are cover buys in different ways. The first one is The Shadow in the Glass by J.J.A. Harwood. And this is what I described, the, ooh, pretty cover, let me read the summary. And then I found out it was a dark Cinderella retelling, and I was like, hell yeah. Sir, this is unauthorized. I saw this in Barnes & Noble. It was like a whole display of them, and my cat is biting me. It was a whole display of them, and I was like, pretty cover. And then I like actually got up close and read that it's a gothic twist on Cinderella, and I was like, ooh, yay. sounds like my type of jam. So I bought it. So it wasn't a complete cover buy. It's a beautiful cover, and I know I'll probably enjoy the plot buy, but yeah. And this last one is a cover buy in the sense that I already owned a copy of it, and then I saw that this was coming out, and I just immediately pre-ordered it. This is the special edition of If We Were Villains by ML Rio. So I already owned the original US release, but then I saw that Waterstones was putting out this special edition, and look at the cover, it's freaking gorgeous. I was like, I need it. So this is also like one of my favorite books. I love this book a lot, and it's also signed by the author and has a brand new introduction. So it's not like I was just like, sir, I'm gonna need you to not knock over the camera. So it's not like I just bought it because of the new cover art, but that was definitely a contributing factor. Yeah, my cat is being a massive shithead. Oh my god. Pippin! No! Oh, you're so cute though. God. Pip. Oh! Oh, so much naughtiness. So anyway, that is the book cover book tag. I'm not tagging anybody, but if you want to consider yourself tagged by me, please do. It has been great chatting with you all. Thank you to Lisa and Bookland for making such a fun tag. I will see you soon. Bye.